Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. I am super excited to do this video because it is my top 5 favorite houseplants, and I'll talk you through each one of them one by one. So at number 5, I have this wandering Jew plant. I think that's the common name, but the actual name I will insert it somewhere here. This is a recent find, and as you can see, it's a hanging or trading plant. When I first got into houseplants, I was never into I would say colourful plants. I preferred the green leaves in most of my plants, but more recently I've been sort of venturing out and seeing what else is out there, and my taste has, I guess, slightly changed. So I got this plant not long ago, and I'll put details on where I got the plants from down below. And since I bought it, I think what I've absolutely loved is that this has just grown like crazy with very minimal supervision and care, I would say. I probably water this plant once every week. I try and fully drench the whole pot so that it gets water evenly, but that's what I do, and it has been working very well for me. But as you can see, it's beautiful. The leaves, or the new leaves in particular, have this silver or glittery shimmer to it, and it's absolutely stunning. And I can't believe I didn't discover this plant earlier on, but I'm very glad that I have discovered it now, and in fact I have 2 of these. So at number 4, I have this, I believe what's called golden pothos. It's again another hanging plant. You can probably see a bit of theme here. I think what I like about hanging plants is that it doesn't take any floor space, and you can just hang it on the wall and make use of every single bit of wall space you have. But this plant in particular, it's beautiful, as you can see. And in terms of care and maintenance, it's very easygoing. I would say I probably water this about every 2 weeks, and it seems to be doing well. It has grown quite a bit since I bought it, and I just can't wait for this to get even longer but fuller, and yeah, I just can't wait to keep seeing this grow. So that's the number 4. So at number 3, one of my, again, more recent purchases, I had seen this plant a while ago on Instagram, and I was like, this is absolutely stunning, I want this plant, but I hadn't necessarily seen it at shops here, at least in London. So this is what's called rattlesnake Calathea. As you can see, each of the leaves, they are absolutely beautiful with all these it almost looks like it's been painted on, and almost fake, but it's not, I promise you that. So this is a Calathea, and from my experience, I think I had one more Calathea in the past which sadly died, but I think they do like a lot of water, but maybe not as frequent. So what I've tried to do with this one is, try to see the soil, and as I said, this is still quite new to me, so I'm just still testing it out, but I've tried to touch the soil and water it every 2 weeks since I've bought it, and I've placed this in a well-lit area, so it is getting enough light, not bright direct light, but more indirect light, and as you can see here, it is getting a lot of new leaves coming through, which is brilliant, and I think that's what gives me a lot of satisfaction about having houseplants. But I absolutely adore this plant, and yeah, that's number 3. So at number 2, and as you can see, I had to stand up for this one, is my beautiful peace lily. I think it's also called Spathiphyllum. I'll put the exact name down below. This is beautiful, and this is one of those very easy to care, something that can thrive in low to medium light as well. Drinks a lot of water, so if you're one of those people who doesn't like watering plants, maybe that's not a good idea, but if you absolutely love watering, I think this one will do pretty well. Most of the time, I think what you'll see is just the green leaves, but obviously because it's sort of springtime in London here, you can see it's bringing out these beautiful white flowers. Now this, I've had it for a while, and I think it's kind of drooping, and I've got a new one here and a few little ones coming through at the bottom. I would say I water this plant every week, and I do water it thoroughly because it does tend to soak up quite a bit of water. But I'm in absolutely love with this plant as well. The leaves are, it's beautiful. As they get bigger, I fall in love with it even more. So yeah, that's number 2. So at number 1, ta-da! Is this a surprise? Probably not. So at number 1, I present to you my Monstera Deliciosa, also known as Swiss cheese plants, mainly because of all the holes and little sort of cuttings that you can see on the leaf. This is, as I said in my previous video, one of my first few plants that I had bought, and it's doing so well, and I wanted to continue to do so well. It's one of my biggest plants that I have as well. In terms of care and tips on this plant, I think it's relatively easy to take care of it, as long as you place it in a very well lit area, but maybe more of an indirect light. So don't have this plant right by the window. That's not going to be very well for it. But maybe have it, you know, 2 meters away maybe. And in terms of watering, I water this plant, I would say about 7 to 10 days. But I water it thoroughly because it does like to drink. And I think that's about it. I do use fertilizers, you know, during spring once in a while. But other than that, I really don't do anything with it. And it's just doing so great, and I absolutely love it. So that's my number 1. So that's it, guys. That was my top 5 favorite houseplants. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions about any of the plants that I've shown you today, care tips and tricks, feel free to comment me in the comment section down below, or follow me on Instagram. I will put my link somewhere here, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much. Bye.